Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott Selections here for Sunday, January 10th. We're getting today's play of the day. Quick recap of what happened yesterday. Yesterday, we ended up splitting. We ended up winning the play of the day for Colgate -2, which was available on DraftKings -112 as they ended up taking care of business against Boston. And we also lost the look-ahead play of the day in the NFL between the Rams and the Seahawks with the under 43, which is available on Bet Online -110. That one was pretty unfortunate. The line ended up dropping to around 42, 41.5, something along those lines. Game looked like it was going under pretty much automatically after the first quarter and a half. Then Wilson threw the pick six. So then you had the Metcalf broken coverage touchdown. And then next thing you know, they scored about 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes, and the game was going over after that. But either way, ended up splitting, went 1-1, but college basketball continues to be kind, so hopefully that carries over into Sunday. Now, for today's play today, we're going to be looking at another college basketball matchup from an obscure league, and this time it's going to be from the Big South. We're going to be looking at a matchup between Radford and Charleston Southern, and for the play today, we're going to be taking Radford -3, which is available on Fox Bet at -110. Time recording of 5:54 a.m. Eastern Time. First of all, before we actually get into the breakdown, just for reference, that game will be taking place at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like Radford in this spot. First of all, these teams have been heading in opposite directions all season long, particularly in conference play, as Radford has won 6 of its first 7 conference games, whereas Charleston Southern is still 0-5 in conference games. Radford has just looked like the much better team, and that definitely was the case yesterday, as Radford ended up beating Charleston Southern by 15 points. So once again, this is another example of an immediate back-to-back, or I know what you want to call it, a doubleheader or a 2-game series in consecutive days, whatever you want to call it, which has been a little bit, I'd say, dicey at times if you want to look around and how it's gone with other teams in the nation. But Radford has been so much better than Charleston Southern so far this season that I do think that -3 is a little bit too short of a line, and there is a lot of value to it. But looking at Radford in comparison to Charleston Southern, Radford has won 4 of its last 5 games as well, so it has been playing really well over the last 2 weeks. And Charleston Southern has lost each of its last 5 games. So Southern just has looked like a disaster so far, and I simply think that will carry over into this game. Now, Radford, the main reason why this team has been better than Charleston Southern is because of the defense. Radford is allowing roughly 10 fewer points per game. So Radford, despite having, I'd say, somewhat underwhelming offensive numbers, the defense has definitely picked up, and I do think that will lead them to another victory once again. And Radford is also averaging roughly 2 more rebounds per game. And in the game yesterday, Charleston Southern got out-rebounded by 8, and that was a huge reason why Radford was able to win, because they were able to create a couple of extra second-chance points, which definitely helped out, and I do think that will definitely play a factor, especially with a spread this low. Anytime you can get an offensive rebound, get to the foul line more, even create more possessions, I do think that's a very nice bonus to have when you're trying to cover a spread of 3. But looking at Radford, they are 7-6 on the season, and that was after an 0-4 start. So this team really has started to find its stride over the last month or so. Or if you look at Charleston Southern, yes, they are 0-5 in conference, but that really doesn't change anything because they're 1-8 on the season. So even before conference play, this team was terrible to begin with, and I simply think that the Buccaneers will continue to struggle at home, even though you can argue this team might look a little bit sharper in the immediate rematch against Radford. I simply don't see it. I don't think they're going to lose by 15 again, but I do think they'll probably end up losing by around 8. So for that reason, I simply just think that -3 is an extremely short spread for a Radford team that has been cooking right now. And I do think for that reason, Radford should win this game and cover the spread with somewhat relative ease. So for that reason, the play of the day in college basketball here for Sunday, January 10th is going to be on Radford -3, which is available on Fox Bet at -110. This has been Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.